We are Cactus Wrestling. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos.
Cactus Wrestling is now available on Spotify and Amazon. And don't forget to check us out on Etsy for all of your Cactus Wrestling apparel needs. It is officially the off season for college wrestling, and guys are on the move. Bags are being packed. Bags of money are being stuffed and
I heard you said
being,
stacked.
oh, that
It's
would have been good.
okay.
Redo. Bags.
Bags are being stacked. And we're here to talk about it all and Cactus Wrestling. So let's talk about the big name transfers so far. And I mean a lot of big names in the portal already. But the biggest news was Rocco Welsh. For those
Yes.
who forgot about Rocco Welsh, he redshirted for Ohio State this year, and
Bizarre.
he is
Very.
now heading to Happy Valley to be teammates, well, training partner room, same room as the guy who pissed on his grave, Carter Starachi, at Penn State.
I don't really understand his thought process for I mean, unless it's the same as everybody where like Penn State's where you go to, if you want to do the best, be the best, whatever. But like I don't see how he fits in to that team per se.
Well, everyone's got a big ego and they think they're the guy, and he clearly thinks he's the guy. I mean, he almost won a national title as a true freshman. So he has high expectations for himself, and I think the connection that he had with his former clubmates at Penn State, I guess, is part of the reason, but I agree it's a little bizarre with just, I mean, because Carter text tweeted out that thing saying Zack Ryder is the guy, and then he
Oh,
deleted it.
so he's deleted that, sir.
So there's clearly some animosity there. Um,
Yeah,
so
getting
I
welcomed with open arms.
so unless they redshirt Levi Haynes, which why would they? He's only got 1 year left.
I think it's a possibility.
Yeah, but why would they?
I'm
Both Ryder and Welsh are freshmen or soft. Well, yeah, no,
Welsh is
they
going to
have
be a
three,
sophomore.
4 years. It's like they're gonna ride bench eventually.
I think that, and you kind of alluded to this, there's a club team aspect to this. So for guys that aren't privy to this, a lot of the Penn State guys are go to a KD trained by Coach KD from New York area. Um, and that's a group that includes Rocco Welsh, Jaden James, who just committed,
Flipped
Zach
his
Ryder.
commitment, by the way. That's another
He
one.
did flip his commitment.
He was
Yeah.
Yes.
recently Virginia Tech, now Penn
Yes.
State.
Exactly. But Rocco Welsh, Jaden James, Zach Ryder, PJ Duke, Joe Seeley all have the same club coach. I have to imagine that this wasn't like a random, hey, I'm just going to flip from Ohio State to Penn State. Um, there had to be some sort of plan going into this where this was discussed and there wasn't an hey, we're going to push this guy out kind of thing. We're going to take this guy on. Additionally, Josh Barr and Rocco Welsh have a bit of history, where Josh Barr lost to him twice in their senior season. Um,
Interesting.
so Barr lost to him in, well, at the Dapper Dan, I know that, which is like the Pittsburgh Classic. It was Team USA versus Team Pennsylvania. Um, Barr lost to him in folk style twice and beat him in freestyle once in Fargo finals. So they have a bit of history there, but I can't see them pushing out someone like Zach Ryder, who has done very well in the opportunities he's been given, has accomplished, you know,
I don't know about
Well,
that. He
clearly
hasn't wrestled
Kale
at all.
doesn't seem to see an issue.
he won the Southern Scuffle and
Yeah, but the scuffle's a shell of itself.
but what he's a redshirt. What else was, what more can he do? And he
Well,
also just
they could have put him in 5 events.
he took silver at the U20 Worlds as well in freestyle. I mean,
Yeah,
he's
fair,
doing
fair,
like
fair.
I said, like he's come along. Like he's a very talented wrestler. And he's very tight with the KD group. So I can't see them pushing him aside, um, and just, being like, we're going with Rocco Welsh. That's it. Um, so
Which is why it's
strange.
very strange. This one's very strange, which I don't know. I mean, we've talked about this on other videos. It's like when all the top talent goes to one school, we're deprived of seeing that talent wrestle. Like, imagine how amazing Big Tens would have been last year if you have Max McAnally, Ferrari, Rocco Welsh,
Yeah.
Zach Ryder, all at the same weight class competing against each other. Now you're taking one of those out, and it's like, this isn't good for the sport. We need competition. That's the whole reason to grow it. If these guys are just gonna forego, well, not forego, because I think their ego says I'm gonna be the starter, but
Yeah.
only 10 guys can be the starter for Penn State. There's gonna be guys on the bench, and that kind of translates into my next point. You're gonna start seeing a slight exodus
There's
in
been a
the
lot.
face of Alex Facundo, who somehow I guess has 3 years of eligibility left. That must be a mistake. I
Never
don't
really
get that
know.
at all. This is his fourth year.
A lot of people go to
This
school for
was
seven
your
years.
well, no, no, no. Yeah, they're called lawyers, or doctors.
Doctors.
Yeah.
Tommy boy.
No, no, no. Sorry, this was his third year because he took an Olympic red shirt. But
Yes.
still, he doesn't have a COVID year. Like, I think that must have been a typo. But even still, he's now going to Oklahoma State. Makes sense. David Taylor, he knows him.
And he's bringing a buddy in tow.
Who? Gary Steen?
Harry
Yeah.
Steen.
Yeah, I mean, Gary Steen's not going to start. I mean, you have the national runner-up at 125.
But now he has Gary Steen as a practice partner.
Well, then maybe they're buddies, but yeah.
You have a lot. You have a few other guys that transferred out of Penn State as well. That maybe not as well known, but like Aurelius
Oh,
Dunbar, AJ Frashone, Jack
what about
Kelly, and I think the biggest one possibly is David Evans.
yeah, David Evans? I
Oh
was
yeah,
going to
David
say
Evans. Yeah.
yeah,
David Evans, who has
149.
had close matches with Kasak and with
Bo Bartlett.
Bo Bartlett. I mean, this
Yeah,
is a guy that can potentially be an All-American for a program tomorrow.
right.
That's exciting.
So,
Y'all think the Ferraris are going to Iowa State?
Iowa State.
Yes, I think Iowa State more so than Iowa.
Well, it's interesting because Iowa State, we saw Cody Chittum enter the portal, and then
And
Anthony
exit.
Ekamandia made a comment saying there's only two reasons that guys entered the transfer portal, one for the money, and or I forget the other one.
It was three
Something like that.
reasons. One was for the money, two was for you can't beat the spot, and three is you don't trust the coaches.
And there's
Yeah,
the fourth
so
one, but
if
I'm
you're
not going to say
using
it.
that
Oh wait,
logic,
there was four. Okay,
Well, no,
yeah.
there was three, but I'm not going to. There's someone made a
oh,
comment about a fourth one
Oh, oh,
because of his past,
oh yeah.
and I was
Um,
like, "Ooh, that's messed up."
yeah, yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
it,
yeah.
it is. I mean, it's messed up, but the guy's not wrong.
yeah, I mean, I think the money's probably the biggest one. Let's be real. I mean, you look at a guy like Nasir Bailey who's going to Iowa.
Him and Jordan Williams both
And
full
Jordan Williams.
package.
Oh, Jordan Williams was announced too?
Yeah, they committed together.
Yeah, they both committed together. Yeah, so they're gonna be 41, 49.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, like, I was talking about this with one of my
Iowa's looking
clients
pretty good.
recently. Can you blame these kids for taking the money? I really can't
Yeah.
blame them.
In a
No, yeah.
sport like wrestling that has virtually no real payday, I mean,
This is the payday.
well, that's what I mean. Like people are like, "Oh, can you believe so and so went to Iowa for a
Like
$300,000 NIL deal?"
Ja'Cory Teamer, like, so what that he went 0-2
Yeah.
this year? The dude's pretty much set for life. Like,
I
you
mean,
take that if it's given to you. You earned it. Like, in a sport that does not get the financial compensation it deserves,
Well,
take your moment.
until the professional league claw.
Well, yeah, shout out Claw, who we met at NCAA's. But yeah, I mean, I don't blame Nasir Bailey, Jordan Williams. This will be Jordan Williams' third school, by the way. But but here's the thing, though. I think in very rare instances do we see a lot of these transfers actually improve, and that includes guys going to Penn State. And I
yeah.
texted you guys a list
Oh
recently.
yeah, that's true. That list was like, oh, only
You had
one of them
Drew
has done
Hildebrandt at
better.
125. You had Max Dean, and I know what you're going to say. He was a national champion for Penn State.
But he
But then
was a
the
national.
following
Yep.
year, He took 8th place, and the reason he won that national championship, go back and watch the matches, were two very questionable calls. One against Lou Dupre against Binghamton.
Yep.
The other one, I think, it was in the semifinals or whatnot.
Binghamton.
So, and it's like that guy was a
Well,
national
he was a
runner-up,
national finalist already.
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So it's like, okay, and you got Kyle Cannell for 197.
National finalist.
You got Bernie Truax, who pretty much,
Yeah.
stayed the same.
He actually got worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, 4th and 5th, but yeah.
But then people will also say like, well, Kirk Fleet was a transfer and Messenbrink was a transfer, and it's like, well, yes and no. Kirk never stepped foot on Ohio State. He just committed there, and when Kyle Snyder left, he goes, well, that's the reason I committed here, so I'm not going to wrestle for you. I will not be seeing you. So and then for Messenbrink, he redshirted at a small school and then switched to Penn State. I mean,
I kind of wish he stayed at Cal Poly.
yeah.
Yeah, Seth Romney. Him and Seth Romney would be running things.
But I don't know. It still made me think about with Teamer. Teamer got the alleged $500,000 NIL deal, and people were like, "Can you believe? Look at all this money wasted." Blah blah blah. Dude, Arch Manning has a NIL deal worth almost $7 million, and he's not the starter right now.
What school?
Texas quarterback.
Mm,
And again, if you follow football, he's from the Manning family,
yeah.
one of the most well-known. Like that's like when people had the GoFundMe for Kylie Jenner to become a billionaire. I don't know if you guys remember that.
No.
Oh, look, if you want to be angry later in the night, look that up. Because she was like, I'm worth $990 million. I want to be the youngest billionaire. And they started a GoFundMe and people donated money to help her become a billionaire. And I go, are you friggin'
Oh
kidding me?
my God.
But so that's why when people are like, oh, can you believe this wrestler? And it's like, dude, wrestling is not gonna be ever gonna be a big money sport. And as much as we'd want it to be, it's just not gonna happen. It's not in the cards. So if guys want to get paid, that's awesome. And it sucks for Ja'Cory Teamer, just like it sucks for anybody that gets hurt. I'm sure Kyle Parko did not want to have his season end, his career end on an injury, getting, you know, emotionally beat down by calling him a quitter by the Iowa fans and then getting mocked by the Iowa haters for being like, that's what you get for going to Iowa. Like, dude, he's just a kid that wants to do something he likes and he's being paid for it. Like, does it suck? Yeah. Anytime anyone gets hurt, it's horrible. But like, I'm not gonna fault a kid who's trying to have his future taken care of.
It does
No.
suck for the sport, though, in terms of competition and seeing smaller programs on the rise because, Little Rock is
Yeah.
now losing. Well, I know this year had a tough tournament this year, but he was 4th place a year ago. And I mean, like, a guy like Isaac Dean, All-American for Rider this year, and he's in the transfer portal. So you always see these smaller schools who get these All-American guys, and then they transfer to a bigger school. We saw Will Feldkamp go from Clarion to Iowa State. Same with Kyle Cannell. He was at Kent State, and he went to Penn State.
I believe
So,
Cannell was a grad though, like a graduate. I think a lot of these guys go there for like for like
but
a
but
grad.
what I mean is like they're at
Yeah.
smaller schools, and then they get
Yeah.
attracted by bigger schools based on their performance. I do think there's something to say. It's like, well, I mean, obviously, like a guy, I mean, David Taylor, he was able to make national champions out of Wyatt and Dean Hamity this year. Does that say something as David Taylor as a coach? And are these other coaches not able to like
Uh,
adapt to like?
I
So
mean,
I mean,
right
it's gonna
as
be
of
very
right now,
interesting.
the argument is definitely there that David Taylor was the impact that these guys needed. I mean, even if you listen to the interviews of Wyatt talking about how his coaches were helping him like think of things second by second, position by position instead of match by match. Like that's a completely different mindset to have in an approach to how you're competing. So if he is having that big of an impact, I feel like every year you will see that anytime anyone goes there, their performance improving. I mean, Spratley went from
Minnesota.
non-All-American to national runner-up. Hamity went from non-All-American to champ. Wyatt went from third to first.
Those were all transfers. Spratley was
Pretty good
originally at
year.
Minnesota
Pretty good
too.
year.
So,
And it's not to say that guys don't get better when they transfer
well,
because
and Yeah,
I
Fish was
remember
a non-All-American and then All-American.
who was the guy from Wyoming, Bryce Meredith. He was at NC
Meredith.
State, and then
Yeah.
he was
Yes.
national finalist, multiple time All-American for Wyoming. So yeah, it does happen. I mean, Seth Gross was a national champion for South Dakota State.
Do you
It's
think
crazy.
Facundo's going to be better now that he's at Oklahoma State?
Well, what weight do you think he's gonna go?
57.
Look at this guy. He's shaking his head. It's like
No, I just I
if he
Yeah,
was at Penn
no.
State and was the starter, he'd be like, all day Facundo,
no,
baby, let's
I've said this for a
go.
little bit, like, and you kind of alluded to it. Alex isn't like the young college wrestler anymore, and it unfortunately is either gonna happen or hasn't happened. Like it either should have happened or hasn't happened yet.
Excuse me, sir.
Um,
Did you see all the national finalists this year, age 24 and higher?
yes, that all have been, but
184 had both guys. 285 had both guys. AJ
all
Ferrari,
had yes, all who
third
had
place.
accomplished a lot of things, and I think Alex, like I said, when he was in high school, he was like the can't miss guy. Dominated, age level success. Heck, Kyle Dake's training partner at the NLWC.
And he beat Levi
So
Haynes in
Dake is going to do worse
freestyle,
now that he's
right?
gone?
I don't know, but I just think that like, unfortunately for Alex, it just didn't happen for him at the next level.
Boo, bad take.
I
He's
don't
still got
know.
time.
He's how old
He's
now?
got a lot of time. He's got
He's got 3
3 years.
years of eligibility, baby.
Dude, that's yeah, but like, what is he going to do differently necessarily to make that jump? I mean, where do you
Ask
see him?
Dean Hamady.
Where do you see him next year? Like, as far as like, All American?
It
I don't
depends
know.
on the weight. I think 57's a weaker weight class. Well,
I think he can
actually,
All American. I think he can All American. I've said this before, and this is me saying, I think that he had a bad NCAA tournament when he wrestled it. I think he still has All American potential. As time goes on, it's probably tougher to tell, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him be an AA.
I think we'll see him at 65. That's my gut. He'll
60.
take he'd take Cam Amin's
65 is probably a
spot.
more comfortable weight for him considering
Who's
kilo.
what weight would D-Lock it be? Probably 57,
74.
right?
75.
Probably 74.
Yeah, yeah,
74, really?
yeah. Well, he wrestled 175 this year. He bumped up. Um, but before we finish transfer news, I want to go through some of these other names and tell me what you guys think about where that you think they're going to end up. Hey, AJ Ferrari transferring from CSU Bakersfield. Where do you think he's going?
Iowa State.
I agree, Iowa State.
Wow, Iowa State, huh? I haven't actually thought about this one.
I forgot about this one. Lachlan McNeil is leaving North Carolina.
Oh, I saw
Hmm.
someone saying they thought Michigan.
Interesting. I wonder why.
I could see maybe, well, I was gonna say Virginia Tech, but that probably wouldn't make any sense.
No, he's not going to stay.
Rutgers?
No. Well, we're
Stanford? UNC is a good
Dan?
school. Stanford?
um Jory Volk is leaving Wyoming.
Hmm.
He he's get he's 125. He's going to go to
Well,
Iowa.
he might go to Iowa,
He's
but
going to go to Iowa.
Iowa is also going after Dean Peterson.
Oh yeah, I saw that
Wait,
too.
Peterson's in the
Peterson.
transfer
Yeah,
portal
yeah, yeah.
too?
Dean Peterson is in the transfer portal, and he was one of two people to beat Luke Lilladall this year who took third, and he was also the guy that pinned the defending national champion.
Hmm.
Swiderski, we already see, is gone from Iowa State, committed to Oklahoma State. Those Cowboys pistols are firing,
Oh
baby.
yeah, I forgot about that
What
one.
weight's Swiderski going to go?
49, right?
Probably 49,
But that was Teague Travis.
maybe
Well,
41.
Teague can go 57, maybe.
Maybe he'll go 41.
Might go 41. But
Because yeah,
41,
maybe Swiderski couldn't beat Etchemandia or Frost.
he said 41 was tough for him to hold. I do remember that.
Yeah. So maybe he
Um,
wants to go 49. Maybe T. Travis going back to 57.
could be. TJ Stewart has transferred out of Virginia Tech. Um,
He's a Jersey boy, right?
yeah, he's from Blair.
He's going to Rutgers.
Could be. Hunter Katka, another one, transferring out of Virginia Tech, lost the spot to Jimmy Mullen. Um, Cody Chittum, no idea where he's going to end up, honestly. Some people said Ohio State. I thought that could be interesting.
He
Ohio
committed
State
to
doesn't
Ohio.
really take transfers.
I thought Chittum committed to Ohio State.
Did he? I didn't think he was. I don't know if he fully. I thought I might have been the one to
When
tell
was
you.
the last time Ohio State took a transfer? I don't think they take transfers.
I think I said he's becoming a Buckeye. I don't know if I said that with certainty.
I took that as a joke because everything you say is a joke mostly.
Well, my life is a joke. That's what I told you guys.
Right.
Yeah. Um, Brian Soldano also transferred out of Rutgers.
Mm.
Interesting guy there. Um, yeah, I mean, there's some other good names, guys that I'm curious to see how they're gonna do. Like Carter Neves from Ohio State. I followed him in high school. Um, Louis Gill from NC State, also a guy I followed from high school. Uh,
He's in the portal
Christian,
too.
where do you think Christian Carroll's gonna go now? That's another guy that's in the portal.
I think
He's
this
going to
guy's
go
a
to the
bust.
bench.
I think this guy's a bust.
It's crazy. It's Christian Carroll is Braxton Amos 2.0. There's
He's going.
something about these guys that wrestle 220 in high school, crush it, and they can't go down to 97, and they're just can't seem to make it in 285.
He's going to go Wisconsin.
Maybe. Oof, that'd be interesting. Um,
Cody Merrill is going to be 197 for Okie State.
it's possible.
Possible.
But yeah, those are the some of the big name madness going on right now. Um,
Drop a comment down below. Where do you think these guys are going to land up? And what are your thoughts about the schools and the guys that have already transferred and shaken up? Do you think it's a thumbs up, thumbs middle, thumbs down? Let us know your thoughts down below.
there are so many names I'm forgetting. I mean, like I forgot about like Tay Gadiali committed to Michigan, Tyson
Uh,
Terrakina, Zach Redding, both leaving Iowa State.
that's
Hmm.
last year's news.
Yeah, there's last year's news. But boy, this offseason is getting exciting already. And I cannot wait to keep deep diving these names and as we get ready for freestyle.
Until next time, thanks for watching Cactus Wrestling.
Thanks for watching. We are Cactus Wrestling, and we'll see you next time on our next video.